Feels good to be winning, don't it?
Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, about now, about now, about now.
What's poppin', y'all? It's your man, Cloudboy Bales, and I'm here with another edition of Wisco Sports. So, today is my first official episode of my Brewers Check-In. Haven't really figured out a good name for it yet, but obviously I'm going to be doing my daily check-ins, just talk about my thoughts on the Brewers. Obviously, it's a long season, so of course things are to change over time. We are 12 games in. Hard to believe that. But yeah, crazy enough to think of it. So, currently sit with a good record. We're above 500, which I'm very happy about. We're 7-5, so that's a great start. Exactly where I wanted to be about. I mean, I don't know exactly what my prediction. I can't remember my prediction. I was hoping they'd get about 80, 90 wins, but I mean, that's a playoff team if you get around that. But this team, I think, as I said several times, I'm going to keep saying it until you get annoyed by me saying it, but this is the most underrated team in baseball. Why, may you ask? Because everybody else that's on the team is being overshadowed by Christian Yelich. Christian Yelich is so dang good. Everyone knows that. I think he's back to himself. So let's before I start talking about everybody else, what I see from the team this year, let's talk about Christian Yelich. So far we're 12 games in. He actually did not play at all in this recent series against the Cubs. He's dealing apparently with a back issue, but like they said, they're holding him out for safety reasons. He should be back. But so far, no home runs yet out of Christian Yelich. However, he is hitting above 300, which is a good thing because last year he he got just over 200 by the end of the season. He could not hit at all last year. It was a really struggling season, but as we're seeing Christian Yelich, he looks like himself. He's getting hits, and he's showing why he is one of the best players in baseball. A couple RBIs, but no home runs yet for Yelich. On the other hand, everybody else is doing a good job contributing. Now, at the start of the season, we saw that unbelievable comeback victory against the Twins. The very next two games just weren't so good. It was because of our offense. Our offense just completely lacked, which of course forced the Twins to win the next two games. And the problem was, from the start of the season, when you looked at the first 7 games of the season, the Brewers only scored, was it like 20 runs? Which it was very low for the MLB. And a lot of people were really worried because everyone's like, I can't remember even the hitting coach's name, but this was the same exact offense that they were last year. I mean, they weren't showing the firepower that they recently had. It was kind of issues. I don't know, but so far this week, we've seen offense from the Brewers. The 2 games against the Cardinals, both drove in 9 runs. Outstanding. This is just outstanding. The players that I thought that were going to be really good last year are actually stepping up and doing exactly what I thought that they were going to be doing, which I'm absolutely happy for. Christian Yelich, I think, is back to his form. The only little concerns that I have on the offense is Keston Hiura. Last year, he led the team in home runs last year. However, his run average was just not so good. He's doing okay on his position switch, but I mean, we might see him go back to second base, obviously, due to a lot of the injury problems, which I'll get to later. But It's just interesting how it's a good thing that we have depth. That's just a good thing to say. But, I think, he's just starting to get used to this position. And, I'm not, I don't, I feel like he'll come on later. Now, of course, we all know about the Arcia trade and how we were really stunned that he unfortunately was traded away for some young prospects from the Braves. Um, because everyone believes that Luis Urias is going to be the future at that position. So far, he just hasn't really done much. Now, these last two games, I will say he actually played really well. He's actually got a good eye for the ball. He's been getting lots of walks, and he's actually hit the ball a couple times. These last two games actually were good, and he hit a home run. So I could say that. But I think, hopefully he gets to be the player that we thought he was, because I think that is a huge deal. Because we traded away Zach Davies for him, but so far Zach Davies has just been terrible for the Cubs, which I'm happy about. So, it's kind of good we got rid of him. I wasn't a big fan of him. He had a great season that one year that we had him, but it's good. Urias, hopefully he can come through. So those are the only two guys on the offense that are so far struggling that really should be doing better. Some other players and then also Jackie Bradley Jr. isn't really hitting that much. He is hitting, but his earned run average is really low too. But I think I'm not really worried about him. Okay, so looking at it, some of the guys that I'm really happy about our offense so far, Avisel Garcia did lose a lot of weight going into this offseason, and so far it's really paying off. He only hit, I think, one home run last year. So far, I think he's got, 2 or 3. So that dude is really putting on a show for us. He's been a real great asset for this team. I'm really happy that we got this guy. Narvaez is actually doing a great job hitting the ball as well. And Travis Shaw. He looks like his old self. I am so happy to say this. 3 home runs. He's leading the team in RBIs. That I'm really happy that we got him. We literally won by getting him to this minor league contract. Literally a cheap deal like that, and we got him back. He literally looks like his old self. I am so happy. So, I never hated on Travis Shaw ever. Obviously that one season where he just looked bad, but, I knew he was dealing with personal issues, which is another reason why he didn't really have the success, but it's good that he was a free agent. We just were like, well, we needed a third baseman. Why not? Because that's the thing. Some guys that I really want to get more playing time, Billy McKinney, obviously, as I said, every time he got it back, he's averaging, the last 2 games weren't so good because he obviously was just getting starting time due to Yelich being out, but you gotta give credit. McKinney is supposed to be really good, so I'm hoping that they give him more time. That's something that I really hope for. So, so of course injuries. Colton Wong was injured in the Cardinals series, the first game back. It was a great moment that he was back at St. Louis. He was a big fan favorite there. And he got a standing ovation, and he was trying not to cry when he was on the plate, so I really felt for him. Returning was a big deal. And then you got Lorenzo Cain, who just went on today, so that's a little injury issues. And that is exactly why it's a good thing to have depth, because if someone gets injured like Cain, because he's getting a lot older, that's why we got Jackie Bradley Jr. He's a veteran. We got guys in the outfield. We have one of the best outfields. It's gonna be nice because Garcia, Jackie Bradley, and Lorenzo Cain are all going to probably be trading off game to game, and then Billy McKinney is another guy that can do it. Tyrone Taylor, he did get called up, but he was a guy that did come off and pinch hit for us, and he did really well, so that's another guy I can really trust. And then, we got a lot of the guys that can play every infield position. Other than, except for Vogelbach, who is a first baseman, but everyone else can play every position, really. So that's a good thing. I'm really happy about that. Depth is very important. I think it's just a great key asset, and that's that. So I'm talking about a lot of the hitting. Let's get to the good part of our team, the pitching. Um, Obviously, as you've seen from the last couple of games, Corbin Burns, in my opinion, I mean, I don't want to sound completely biased, but that dude right now is probably the best pitcher in baseball. I mean, he's getting completely overlooked by the media because they're going to talk nonstop about the Dodgers. They're going to talk nonstop about the Padres. I mean, because we saw Joe Musgrove get that no hitter the first time in Padres history that they ever had a no hitter. So that's a great deal for him. He's having a fantastic year down there. And then, of course, the Dodgers have Walker Buehler and Clayton Kershaw and Trevor Bauer, and that's a great thing. And then, of course, the Padres are like Musgrove, Yu Darvish, and Blake Snell. So that's outstanding pitching there. But no one gives any recognition to Corbin Burns, who right now, I mean, he's only given up one home run the whole season. He's earned run average is like unbelievable. That dude is gonna be a stud for us. He is our best pitcher. He's probably one of the best pitchers in the league. I said that last year. He didn't get any recognition. I think he deserves way more recognition than what he is. That dude is outstanding. And then you got Brandon Woodruff. Of course, Brandon Woodruff is our star pitcher. Having him and Woodruff, having Burns and Woodruff in our starting rotation, I think is just outstanding. Then you got Freddie Peralta. So far, also having an outstanding year. Only gave up like one home run the whole year. Gotta give love to Freddie Peralta. That dude has just been outstanding. I'm really proud. He's looking like the player that I thought he was going to be. The problem is, you don't get any grounds from him. It's always going to be flyouts, and then people always seem to hit home runs off him because that's Freddie's game. We know that. And then Brett Anderson, he was looking good in spring training. He didn't really have the one good game. There was like the one game against the Cubs where he allowed like about 3 home runs, and that was like, okay, that was just a bad inning. But, Brett Anderson, the second game, he did outstanding. And he's like a guy that can really get us a decent record, so like I'm not gonna say he's outstanding. And then you got Hauser. Adrian Hauser, he was terrible for us last year, but he had a really good game the other day. And our starting pitching the last week has not hardly allowed any runs. I thought our bullpen was going to be the key to getting victories. But no, it's our starting pitching. This is like the first time that's ever happened. I always was like, our bullpen is unstoppable. Our bullpen is unstoppable. No, our starters right now are unstoppable. It's crazy. And obviously, when their bullpen is the only thing that can really be sketchy sometimes. Now, a couple of the losses this year were really because we didn't hit the ball. I know, as I see, because like you saw a couple guys give up home runs, and it was like one of the games against the Cubs in this series and the Cardinals in the other series were lost because of our not being able to hit the ball. I don't blame the relief pitchers. I don't. But that's that. But I mean, the only issue that I have right now is I don't know what's going on with Devin Williams. He just does not look like himself. I don't know what it is. I mean, he was able to get out of a bases loaded situation, which was really nice. I'm happy for him, but he's hitting people are hitting home runs off him, which is a little bit nerve wracking. I don't know if that's gonna be anything bad or he's gonna be like I'm hoping he doesn't turn into it like a Jeremy Jeffress situation and ends up crumbling. I just hope that does not happen. But so far, our relief pitching is just unreal. I mean, you got Josh Hader. That dude is simply GOAT material. Fire Rising, that dude is very underrated, deserves more time, and I'm really happy. There's some guys that I think, aren't that good. Like Yardley was optioned down to AAA, which I think was a good move because he just wasn't really good for us at all at the start. I don't even know how he made the team. Our only pitchers that on the relief that I don't really like are Lindblom was a starter, but he's a relief pitcher now, which it's good because like if one of our pitchers goes down with an injury, he can start, which is a good thing. I'm hoping he comes through some point because like I was hoping he was going to be a great player for us, but he just hasn't. And then Rasmussen is just terrible. He's been terrible. He almost cost us at one of the games against the Cubs. But as long as we got Josh Hader and if Delvin Williams gets back to his form that he was last year, I mean, we can win as many games as possible. It's just pretty insane. Fire Eisen, give him more time. Boxberger. Who the heck is Boxberger? That dude hasn't even hardly had allowed a hit, I think. You got to, I mean, yeah, I don't think that dude's allowed a hit. And then Angel Perdomo, I thought he was going to make the team and not Yardley. But Angel Perdomo had a good outing the other game, and he looked great. I'm really happy about our pitching. I'm really happy with where we're at. The only issue is the injuries. Obviously, hopefully Lorenzo Cain and Colton Wong will be back, and Christian Yelich finally hits his first home run. But this is a great start. Winning a series on the road against the Cubs and the Cardinals, and of course winning a series at home against the Cubs, putting them up to 4-2 is a great against the Cubs is a great deal. Wait, yeah, 4-2. Jeez, I'm really out of it. But that's that. There's not really nothing else to it, but I'm really happy for about the Brewers. I know I talked a lot, but I mean, there's a lot to cover in 12 games, but obviously I think I'm going to make this updates. I could make it weekly, I could do 2 weeks, but who knows what will happen. But go Brewers. It's great to keep winning games. It's great to keep doing what we're doing, and hopefully we keep on winning. That's the best thing I can hope for. And then if you haven't seen my other videos on the draft stuff, I just made a mock draft. Like I did one of those websites where you go and pretend you're the GM. The draft is coming up pretty soon for NFL, so that's an exciting time. But anyways, it's Man Clock Boy Bales. Stay tuned for more updates. Be safe and stay smart. And as always, go Brewers. We'll see you